Everyone on YouTube talks about AI side hustles, but almost no one shows you the exact tools that they use to make money. Well, I built a one-person AI business that makes sales every single day, and I did it just using one platform instead of juggling 5 different subscriptions. In this video, I'm going to show you my entire process so that you can essentially just copy paste your own AI-powered business. So let's get started. The first thing that I like to do before I ever start designing anything is to actually do a little bit of research and see what products are selling. So you can use Etsy in this way instead of paying for a research tool to get some ideas. So you can see up here I've searched vanity plate, which is what we're going to be using as an example in this video. The next step is I'm going to go to show filters here, and I'm going to go down to item format, and I'm going to select physical items as that's all we want to see here. And then I'm going to go to Etsy's best, and I'm going to select star seller. Now you'll see this pulled up all the star sellers, but I actually want to go a step further than that. So I'm going to go ahead in the search bar here. You can see it says star seller equals true. I'm going to go ahead and just select this star part, and I'm going to change this to best. So now when we hit enter here, this is going to pull up all of the best sellers on Etsy around this vanity plate. Now, another thing is I noticed on a lot of other products, the pet products are doing really, really well, custom pet products. And then I noticed while searching through these vanity plates that are selling really well, that there's really not a lot of pet options. So what that tells me is that these are selling well. People love custom pet products. So why don't I design something like that around these vanity plates? I'm now over on MyDesigns.io, and this is the one tool that I'm going to use to show you guys how to do everything. So first thing I want to point out, if you do not have an account, you can obviously create one. Once you get logged in, you can go to the top right corner here, click on your name, account settings, and then you can connect your shops by going to shops here. And then you can also connect to Printify by going to print partners. Now you'll see we're already connected, but it's as easy as clicking the button, connect Printify, or connect Etsy or Shopify, whatever you're selling on here. Now I'm gonna go to the listings page. I have already created a collection is what we call them. Essentially just a folder to store your designs or your listings. If you don't know how to do that, you can go to listings here at the top, click the home button. You can just click add folder. You'll see I'm in custom license plate YouTube, which is what this video is around. So the next step is we actually need to get some designs to work with. So like I said, with the research, we want to create like a custom pet vanity plate. And then I think I'll also show you how to do like a custom nameplate, because I did see a few of those that were selling really well as well. So under create, I'm going to go to Dream AI here. And you can see I was already doing a little bit of testing, but I'll show you exactly how I got these results. So let's say a customer orders your custom vanity plate. They want their pet portrait on it. So they're going to send you a picture of their pet essentially. And we're going to also be using Nano Banana. So under the mode here, we're first of all going to switch this to image remix. Now it wants us to drag and drop a file, which is the file that you would receive from your customer. You drag and drop it here. Let me open this up though. Like I said, I just found this one online as an example. So I add this pug image here, and then all I'm going to say in the prompt is generate this pug in a cartoon water style, isolated on a white background. Now you can do this however you'd like. That's just how I like to do it for this example. You can also adjust the number of images it's going to generate here. But once we have everything that we'd like, set how we would like, we just select Dream here. That took about 10 seconds to generate those images, but you can see we've got some really good results here with a bunch of different options to use. So I'm just going to select this first one here, but I am also going to select a second one, but we're not going to use this image. I'll show you why I'm doing that later. So you can see they're selected by the blue outline. Now I'm just going to click Save to Listings here. I'm going to actually upscale these images right here just so that the quality slightly increases. And then you can see that they're saving to the collection that we were in, which it will map there by default if you were already in that collection when you clicked Dream AI. So you can see we're creating a new listing and saving these images in our main file slot. So all we have to do here now is click Save to Listings, yes, store images. Now, once your image is saved successfully, all we have to do is just go back to the Listings tab here. And now you can see we have our images to work with. So first of all, I'm going to select both of these images. And then I'm going to select our Canvas system here. And I want to point out, you need to make sure you select here, not down here under Create. This will open a standalone version. This one will allow us to actually pull the images in that we're working with. So now that we have this open, I'm going to go to Templates here in the top right, and I'm going to type Vanity here. So this is going to, when I select this and then Printify, which is our print partner that offers these, we can now see their print area and the right dimension. So you can see this one is 1000 by 1000 pixels. We want this to be set up perfectly for these vanity plates, so there's no misprints on our orders. So I'm going to select this here. Now you can see we have a great template. I'm going to go to the top right corner now. I'm going to click Add Listing File. And you will see that we're just adding the main file from Dream AI where we had created these images. I'm going to click Add to All instead of Add. As you can see, I'm working with 2 canvases down here, which were the 2 images I saved. So I'm going to click Add to All. And here's our images. So this one I'm actually going to delete, but this one right here we're going to set up first before we do the second one. So I'm going to select the image, go to Position, and I'm going to Fit Width here. Now, I kind of want to design this as like a, a funny vanity plate where the dog almost looks like it's poking its head up a little bit. And then I want to add some text above it that says something like, I'm watching you. So I'm going to go to Rich Text here. I'm going to maybe select this one. I'm not going to be too picky about this. I just want you guys to remember I'm just showing you how to do it. So I'm going to just move this up a bit. And then we're going to make it a little bit bigger. And then to extend this text box out, I'm going to drag and drop these to the very edges of our template. Now, you don't want the text to go past the red line. If it goes past the red line, it will be cut off. So I just want to point that out. Next, I'm going to double click this and we're going to change the text to say, I'm watching you with an exclamation point. And I think the size of that's about perfect, but I kind of want to change the color. I think I'm going to change it to maybe white. So you can do that by clicking the color, clicking this text, and then the color box, and then moving it to wherever you want. Or if you have a code, a hex code, you can use that as well. Now you can see that doesn't look too good. So let's just go ahead and go to effects here again. And I'm going to increase the outline thickness a bit. So I think that looks quite a bit better. We can even change the outline color if we'd like so that it's not pure black. Let's take this dropper and maybe just select a color from the dog so that it matches it a little bit better. And then I think that print file is ready to go. So we'll go ahead and switch over to the next canvas. Once again, we're going to delete this picture because we actually don't even want to use it. And then next, I'm going to add just like a general color background. I think if you leave it blank, it's going to be like a silver look. That's just what they're printed on, so that's what it would be. But we can actually add a color here too if we would like. So I'm going to just turn this eye icon on so that it's showing the background now. And then I'm going to select a color here. And I think it would be kind of fun also. I mean, you could do a gradient if you want to change the colors. I just want to show you how to do that. If you want to add additional points, you just double click. Maybe we'll just stick to solid for this example though. I think I remembered seeing one in our research that was just a nameplate and then they had text options above and below, but let's just do a custom nameplate. So maybe we'll do it as like a pink color, like a really light pink color. I think that's one I saw that was selling pretty well. So we'll do something like that there. And then once again, we're just going to add text. I'll use this same one as I'm not going to be picky. Once again, I'm just showing you guys how to do this. I need you to understand that. And then I'm going to just extend these out once again. And I'm not actually even going to put a name in here. I'm going to double click this and I'm just going to say your custom name like that. We could leave the blue color, but I think if I remember right, once again, that the text was actually pink itself too, but it was just slightly darker than what the background pink was. So let's go ahead and do that and then increase the outline thickness again, and we'll just leave it like that. I'm not going to get too picky with the designs here, as once again I'm just showing you, but once we have these how we would like them, all we have to do is click save in the top right corner. I do want to point out it's really important to save these as editable. Now what this is going to allow us to do is when we receive an order from our customer, we can just click an edit button on that order, it will open up this same Canvas system, and we can change that name to whatever we would like, or we can adjust the pet to whatever the customer's pet was as well. So make sure you save as editable if you're doing personalized designs. So I'm going to go ahead and click, I'm going to change the output file slot here. It's moving it to mockup 1, but we aren't going to need these main files anymore, as these are the files that we're going to use for our print files. So I'm going to overwrite that main file. I'm just going to click save. Yes, overwrite all files. Great. So now that those are saved, we officially have our print files ready to go. So you can see this icon means it's editable. If I click that, that's what I mean. Now we can come in here and change that to whatever we want. Let's say it said Ashley. That's how easy it would be. We could also adjust the size here if it didn't make sense to make it a little bit bigger. And then I always like to just download, because you can do that here. Send it over to my customer in a message for them to approve or make changes, and that just so that they can get a little preview of it. So we're going to go ahead and just close out of this. I just wanted to show you how to do that. So our next step now is to essentially just publish these designs. So we can go to the top right corner here and click publish. I'm going to do this to our Etsy shop. So under print on demand, we're selling these, not digital. And then here, I'm just going to search vanity, find our vanity plate, select it, and then we're going to, MyDesigns actually doesn't have a print partner, but you can select Printify and then select their print partner here. We do have mockups through Printify available. You can always use your own custom mockups if you prefer to as well. All we have to do is click select mockups. This may take just a second to load them from Printify, but once they're loaded up, I'll show you how to do that. So now all we simply have to do is select the mockups that we would like. So obviously we're going to want to showcase a front mockup. So you just select it and then click the one below. I don't think we need to showcase the back, as we don't, it's just a blank license or vanity plate. We might as well add these additional ones though. So we'll just go with those 3 mockups, and then we're going to click select 3 images. Now, whatever order these are is how it's going to appear on your Printify, or your Etsy shop, your Etsy listing. So whatever one you want as your primary, make sure that you move it. So I think we're going to go with that one, and then we'll just leave those in that order. And we can also auto-generate a video mockup if we want, which is essentially just going to create a transition slideshow for you, but we'll go ahead and select that. And then we'll go to populate data. So you can always populate data or generate mockups ahead of time so that you don't have to do it here. But we have this cool system so that it just saves you a lot of time. I'm going to use our feature called Vision AI. Now, what Vision AI does is essentially analyzes hundreds, if not thousands, of Etsy shops with best-selling data, and then creates your data for you based on that. So I'm going to click Use Vision AI. We're going to do this for both of our listings here. The input file slot is going to be the file slot that essentially your system is reading, or Vision AI is reading, excuse me. Under product type, I believe we should have the, it looks like we don't have the vanity plates here as an option. So what you can do in this case is just select other, and then it says please specify. So I'm going to, in this, say vanity plate. Now the platform is Etsy. Under model, I'm actually going to select our newest model, which is MD3. It's been trained on the newest data for Etsy. And then the product features, the vanity plate is here, so we're going to leave that. That's just going to generate product features at the bottom of our description, basically telling them the size of that. And then we can do custom instructions here too, which I like to do. I'm going to say these are personalized listings for vanity plates. Please include this in the data. And then we're going to leave the writing mode to overwrite, and then just select generate data. And yes, run Vision AI. It did just say we're going to run that on 2 listings. Everything you do in MyDesigns can be done in bulk. That's why I wanted to show you how to do it with 2 instead of just 1. Now, if we want to see that other listing, all we have to do is just click this arrow right here. So you can see the title could have been quite a bit better. Personalized black pug vanity plate. I'm watching you. Funny dog custom text. So this part is great. I don't like the black pug. I like to just say personalized pet portrait, maybe something like that, vanity plate. Obviously, if I was actually selling these, I would optimize this title a bit better, the description as well. But I did want to show, here's your product features for the vanity plate. Tags are down here. And then if we go over to the next one, you'll see vanity plate, personalized custom name, pink background, car decor. So this right here, I would also update quite a bit more. You know, I would use all 140 characters and just make sure that the data is a bit more optimized than what we got here. But to save time, I'm not going to do that. I just want to show you guys how. So we're going to go to the next step. So you can see the cost here is $9.50, and then I believe the shipping price is around $4.99. But if you have Printify Premium, I believe the cost of this goes down to somewhere around $6.99 or something like that. You'll get quite a bit of a discount. But in order for us to really make money on this, I would think we need to sell it for somewhere around $29.99. That is with the idea that we're probably going to run a 50% off discount. So it would really be around $15 plus the $5 for shipping, which means your profit would be cut in half. It'd be roughly around $10. So you can go ahead and do whatever you would like for your pricing. But we want to make sure we go to our other listing and update this as well. But since that's all, it's just one single size on this, we can go to the next step, which is preview publish info. This just gives us one last look at our listings. You can see here's the two we were working with. Shows us our title, our description, our tags, etc. And then we can change our shop over here that we're publishing it to if we have multiple shops connected. And then all of this stuff you can update as you need to, but I want to point out that we want this personalization to be selected. And then you can either select a from field, which is basically you created a text field ahead of time that has the instructions, or you can do your instructions here. So for this one, it doesn't really make sense as much because, I mean, they can customize that text technically if they want, but this is the one that we really want this to say. So we're just going to say, please input your custom name or custom text. And that's all we really need, because that means they can do a custom name here or text here or custom name here or text there. So we're going to leave it at that, and then we're just going to select publish. Now that takes about 30 seconds, but I'm going to jump over to our Etsy shop and show you what these listings look like there. All right, we're over on our Etsy shop. It took about 30 seconds for both of those listings to publish to our shop. So we're on the listings tab here. I want to point out everything you publish through MyDesigns will always go to your draft folder, as you do have to pay that 20-cent listing fee. But here's our two listings. All we have to do at this point is simply select them, click publish, pay that 20-cent listing fee, click publish. And that is how easy it is for you to create custom vanity plates. But I want to emphasize as well that you can use the exact same process that I showed you today for really any type of product you want to sell. And we have over 500 products in the MyDesigns catalog. So if you have any questions, please drop them below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel, and we will catch you on the next one.